black ice, but now we are in 1941. And not that much has happened since Italy declared war on Greece. Greece hasn't capitulated yet, but we're almost in Athens. So that's good. I've been struggling to balance sending airplanes to Greece and to the central Mediterranean. I had an opportunity where I bombed Malta a bit, and you can see I bombed 1.14 buildings. I think it's the airbase that I managed to build with my medium bombers. But then Britain sent, the AI sent back over 600 planes, and I withdrew my bombers. So it's a lot of micromanagement here. They have a very much better average mission efficiency, but all in all, we lost 20 bombers. But we are shooting down a lot more fighters than us, more than twice as many. These could be Italian bombers as well. So I guess the attritional battle over Malta is going our way, but it's a hell of a lot of micromanagement to make sure, because it's almost, the Italian AI moves around his air wings constantly, which means that, oh, I thought I withdrew the bombers from North Africa. It is very, I mean, I wish there was a settings that said to the AI and the human player don't overstack an airbase. But I don't believe there's a way to tell. There's a way to tell the Italian AI to leave Africa entirely, planes and every single unit. There's no way to tell him like don't overstack more than supplies allow you. And while we're talking about Italy and the stupidity of AI, Italy is now, after just a couple of months in the war, up to 150,000 losses. But on the other hand, the UK has lost 83,000 losses to the Italians. But that's almost, wow, it's almost 2 to 1. Around 2 to 1 losses. So the Italians are not doing great in the desert, equipment-wise. And I would guess that by now, maybe they start feeling a bit starved when it comes to, they lost all their recon, all their radios, all their transfer trucks, and they're gonna come all the machine guns, all their mortars, mountain warfare they ran out of, because they're idiots, and they just grind themselves into the dust with attrition in North Africa. So if I had, I don't know if I should ask the Italians to leave North Africa entirely and use my own divisions here. They have had a desert support company attached to them. That's about it that happened with them. But I've been kind of busy with the Greek Crusade, I was about to say, campaign. I did capture Thessaloniki, but after a hard fight, and I didn't get a medal, so I wonder if the Bulgarians snuck in and stole the capture and got the medal. But now I have my divisions on the way to Athens. There's no single Greek division in Athens, so it's going to fall. And I don't see any. Oh, there are plenty of Italian divisions here, so they might be first into Athens and grab the victory reward, which is a commendation in the shape of a medal. I've also been busy with farming army experience, mostly from training maybe, or Italian military attaché income of army experience, but I'm starved for it because I am trying to set up all my different panzer divisions. I would like to get all my tanks into divisions, one shape or another. I have 500 cavalry tanks, French and Czech, sitting in the pool, and I really don't know how I'm going to get them into on the map. But I guess I just have to take a division and sacrifice a lot of army experience to do it. I also have some heavy tanks. I have a shit ton of light German tanks sitting here, but I do have these crappy old World War I tanks, FT-17s. They have a speed of 5.3, So very bad, but I am now training 3 divisions. I could probably train a 4th division with these suckers here. Yeah. So these are gonna be some very, very slow and very, very bad panzer divisions. But I can use them as garrisons in France, on the Atlantic coast. I can send them to Africa. I can use them, I don't know. They're there. I don't like to mix modern, fast, good quality German light tanks with crappy old World War I vintage, but it makes for a hell of a micro-management here. So basically the they're all the same. It just differs what kind of equipment are inside them. Why are we using these divisions? This one I could probably remove if you give me a second here.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
So, oh, okay. Do we have, how many medium tanks do we have now? 127. Right. Oh, sorry. I'm just spacing out because there's so many things to think about. I am bleeding fuel, and I am smuggling fuel from all over the world into Europe as much as I can. I am now ordering the full amount from Soviet Union, Venezuela, Peru, Romania, of course. And Romania doesn't have the bad modifiers, but I would like to trade more with Romania, of course, Brazil, Slovakia, and yet I am in the red for fuel, and I'm not moving any panzers around. So I do feel like I'm more starved for fuel than I usually am. Yes, I have delayed building fuel refineries a bit more than I usually do. So maybe that's it. Or I don't know, maybe it's the 17 per hour decision that I didn't take that is worth a whole lot. Rubber is looking better though. So fuel is an issue, but I'm now starting to, in 1941, I'm starting to really focus on industrial fuel technologies so that I can get that going. I'm kind of done with my army doctrine research. Yeah. And we got a new wonderful tank going, the Panzer IV with the 50 centimeter with the long barrel 60 caliber long gun on it. It has very nice stats, 45 armor, and I even gave it APCR so that it was a 10% increase in piercing and heart attack, and I figure it's worth the extra cost, keep it running a little bit longer in the war. I made it a little bit faster, so if I increase weight by adding new equipment on it, it still will be above 8.5 speed. So defense is only 14, but the breakthrough is 40, so it's good. Hardness 83. So this is a good tank, but too late I discovered that the 4D has only 2 engine production capacity per tank, whereas the F version has 3 engines. So of course I ran into huge engine production capacity problems when I moved too many lines over from the old tank to the new tank, and my engine, which it was very high. I had plenty of engine production capacity, but not enough for all my tanks. So now I have planned badly and chosen unwisely yet again, and I have to rush out more engine factory. Of course, there's probably a engine efficiency research somewhere. I'm not sure there is actually, to be honest. Let's see here. If you go into industrial, or is it? No, I don't think there's. Not until I've done the 1941 concentrator industry and then the engine factory 4 here. Then you get +1 engine production capacity. So this is gonna be more than half a year before I get more engine capacity from research. So my only option here now is to build a lot of engine factories. And I don't know how many you get from one. Wait, let me see. How much engine capacity? Where are you? There you are. You get how much? 11. 11 you get. And it's 3 for each tank. And I mean, these 2 lines here. And I started the research for winter equipment in Russia, and that messes with your production efficiency. It lowers it 20 points or something. So everything is just chaos in the German production engine. I haven't placed my Sturmpanzers yet, because they have a bit lower speed than my tanks. So I'm not sure I want to mix them with my most modern divisions. Maybe I want these old self-propelled, put them with slower tanks. And that's gonna cost me army experience, which I don't have currently. So I'm juggling 15 different balls in the air constantly, mentally. And it's fun, because it's black ice. But it's also a bit exhausting and overwhelming. So we are gonna need more engine factories. I didn't know what to construct, silly me, so I was thinking I was gonna lower unrest and garrison requirements in Warsaw, Krakow and Mazovia, but that's not really my focus right now. Like a miracle, my energy consumption is under 100, probably because I removed some tanks, right? Could that be it? Yeah, what do we need the most? Fuel or tank engines? Maybe tank engines a bit more. So, wait. Oh, wait. Yeah, there you are. I can't afford to build more than 4 engines factories. And 1, 2, 3, 4 fuel. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1 more fuel somewhere. You see, I can't really build more fuel factories, refineries, right now without building in low infrastructure provinces. So the German Ministry of Industrial Defense says don't build any more fuel refineries, and then the entire army comes to a screeching stop during Barbarossa because we didn't build enough factories, because we were too cheap to build in 40 infrastructure, level 8 infrastructure provinces. Is that it? Is that how you're gonna do it? Yes, maybe. I don't know. That's a lot of waffling about that aspect. So, and I set up a few armies around Yugoslavia in preparation for that. That will be in March 1941. It's probably the next video. I've gotten 5 or so free siege artillery, and to be honest, I'm not quite sure how they work. You seem to attach them to an army here, so I've given 1 to each of my infantry armies with 16 infantry divisions, and I renamed the Grumpy Pumpy Dumpy to 600 meter Scherer Haubitz, whatever they were called, Gustav, and they move very slowly, and I think they move on their own, but they seem to move randomly across the map. They don't go to the army. They just seem to randomly travel around on the map. And they have a strength of 2000. Don't know what that means. 33 bombardment. That's probably used against forts, so that could come in handy on the eastern front. And it gives enemy suppression. And there's 24 hours between each railway gun can move after firing. They have 1,000 men in them. But and they give here minus 33% fort effectiveness. So that's great. I should probably give them all to my fort busting army, or 1 to each field army. Wait, did I just remove them now? No, they're here. Yeah. I'm very confused about railway guns, but they were for free from France, so there you are. And now again, my kind of victory lap from after after France has ended, and I'm bleeding stability, so I have to invest political power to make decisions that increases my stability constantly, which makes it hard for me to find the political power to invest in upgrades, medals. They are called honors, and they're called medals, they're called honors, they're called citations, and I would probably call them iron crosses as well. So yeah, there we go. But you know, you can pop these out immediately, even during the campaign in Russia. So I'm just leaving these citations on hold for now. But I'm hoping to get enough political power. I'm slowly filling out my officer corps, and I only have 1 slot left. And I do believe the best position here to fill out now is the air support mission efficiency, 3% under Yugoslavia. Now 3% isn't a lot, but in the end there's going to be a lot of ground support bombers on the Eastern Front. So overall, maybe this is the most useful one. I was looking at a naval bombing officer, because right now I think I might even have more naval bombers than, not more, but they are in more use in the Mediterranean. So this 5% naval bombing and targeting and naval agility seemed like a nice choice. And also 5% is more than 3%, right? You have, or 10% submarine attack. But I have not built that many submarines in this playthrough, because I promised to do things a little bit different. So maybe Hans Georg von Friedburg, which is a historical commander I don't know anything about at all. Maybe he was a famous submarine commander. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't decided what military high command the last position. But obviously Rommel, Rundstedt with 6% division recovery, Milch with 3% interception, which I think is a good thing to have against American bombers later in the war. We have Otto Celiax, who gives me some naval experience per day, and naval doctrine research speed, 7%, and Henrici, because he gives less fuel consumption, which I value on the Eastern Front, and Guderian, which is a rather given. He's not a hard choice. I mean, you could pick others than Celiax and Ricci. I have been wasting my naval experience on building different versions of ships, so I have not selected a single one of the Navy Command Spirits here, but I did pick the 3% research, because I'm researching my Messerschmitt 109 fighters ahead of time so much that I value the research speed. And the other one I picked was centralized control, which gives a superiority and interception 5% each, which I value very much, obviously, because shooting down enemy planes is a good thing. I think I would like to have air wing experience loss when killed, minus 20%, even more, but I am not democracy or communist here. You can't be fascist and you can't send fascist pilots back to Germany and have them train new pilots. No, we don't do that. We fly until we die. Right. Oh, short videos are hard to make in black eyes, that is for sure. Is there anything else? Nope. I have gotten my medium assault guns out. I have 4 semi-motorized divisions in training, which seems like, in retrospective, that seems like a wise choice. I have 400 tank kits. What should I do with them? I'm trying to sell them on the international market. No one's buying them. So army experience has to go into designing unique tank blueprint designs that takes French heavy tanks, French and Czech cavalry tanks, and once I run out of these tanks on the battlefield, I'm not gonna want to produce any more of them. So then I will have to just design them back to another blueprint tank division design. but at least I've had some use during Barbarossa. So with a very, very heavy demand of micromanagement, you can really get to use every single tank that you captured here. I don't know if people do you get civilian IC production if you disband? I think if you disband stuff, you lose, you just lose it. I'm thinking checking out, I think Italy's using tankettes, so I might just give these tankettes to Italy. Because aren't they really, really shit? I think they're really, really bad. But it's just out of memory when I've been playing Italy that I remember. I think they have tankettes in their like division designs here, but I'm not sure. And also, obviously, I'm training more air units. I'm building a lot of fighters. Usually, it's not. The Soviet AI has a shit ton of fighters, but sooner or later, Germany usually just shoots them all down. Unless they've changed anything in the update, I don't worry too much about the Soviet Air Force, to be honest. Even though my Air Force isn't that great. I've grinded more UK, Mediterranean, and English Channel. So my fighters are only 2k out of 3k. Well, I think it's closer to 3k than 2k. But it's not okay. Yeah, we got 4,500 planes deployed. So I'd say almost 3,000 are fighters of those. And most of them are modern, so it's it's almost as slow to play at peacetime. I don't count Greece and North Africa, really a full theater right now. And I guess I've been not willing to do the micromanagement. I don't have enough German divisions in Africa now to fight on my own. I only have 5 divisions there. So if I have Italy withdraw all of its troops, it's gonna be too little troops there. But there's no way I can't tell Italy to like send some of your troops home, so I can join the fray. But you know what? I did upgrade the ports here. So Tobruk is now 40 and Derna is 20. Oh, that means level 2 and level 4, obviously. And we can see here now that there is a tiny bit of supply floating around on the front lines, which means I probably can start moving up a few of my desert tank panzer divisions here, which contains the best French light tanks, remember? Yeah, I think I'll do that. If I can remember. So let's just move up this division here. Right. But it's not a lot. 6 and 5 supplies. But we're not over 40 here in Tobruk yet. And Derna still is only on half its supply. I should probably build up the infrastructure, help Italy to do that. But I'm hoping Italy will improve his own provinces, the AI. I wonder if Italy didn't build a level of Tobruk ports, because I think maybe it started at 20, but I'm not sure about that. I only built 1 level. What is the infra? The infra is 3 now. Did Italy build up? I don't know. So,
Achtung!
okay, so we're gonna send this division up here to the front and see how much supplies are there after. So I have to feed in one division after another and examine whether supplies are depleted or not. You can't just send 5 panzer divisions up to the front, because these suckers, even with well, I have motor, of course. No, I have car logistics detachment. Oh my god, I need truck. You know what? I think because trucks are gonna give you a lot more fuel capacity, I just think that I just have to bite the bullet here and upgrade these guys to a motorized. You see, it gives you 700 extra fuel capacity and 6% less supply usage. So it sucks to have to spend 10 army experience on a silly 5 division, but I'm now juggling so many different templates with different, and what's weird is the logistic detachment has now in this build, I think it was more efficient at fuel capacity and supply usage, but you actually get less fuel capacity. You get the same supply usage bonus, minus 6% if you upgrade, but you can not haul as much fuel. You get a tiny bit of combat performance, but I actually prefer to have more fuel capacity. So we're just gonna do this live on stream. And Desert Company, all it does is give you a bit of hot acclimatization factor. Doesn't it do something with moving in the desert? Yes, it does. Movement and attack and defense is 10% in desert, so that's very nice. Okay, fuck that. I should have done that on the original light tank division before I spawned off all these different French equipment versions, but I forgot to do it. So now I'm punished for that. Alright, that's 1940. As you can tell, maybe by my ramblings here, there's quite a lot of micromanagement in Black Ice. Excellent if you like that. If you don't like that, this is not the mod for you, I can tell you that. So, you know what I'm up to, preparing for Barbarossa and fighting in North Africa. See you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz. Comments if you have any questions. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.